Congratulations on your success, and thank you for taking your time to be here. And we're going to cover some questions today. So I would love to first know, how old are you? Where are you from? And what do you do for work? What
Yeah.
did you do for work?
Okay. Okay. I'll cover everything. I'm 32. I'm from Anaheim, California, and I used to be a talent acquisition sourcer, which is pretty much a recruiter, a talent recruiter. And that's what I was doing when I first started my sessions with Renee. And for quite some time, I felt that it was out of alignment to what my sole purpose was. And I've contemplated about quitting and everything, and I put like an end date of when I wanted to quit. But during our sessions, my intuition called me to let me know that I was ready. Before I thought I was ready. And Renee really helped me with that because there was fear and contrast going on within me. But because of the, body and mind alignment, it really helped me to kind of like take the next step and be courageous and move forward and in a different way that I didn't expect to be doing. So now I'm a full-time digital marketer entrepreneur. And I have so many different projects going on right now, and I've been so happy the past couple months. So yeah.
Amazing. Oh my God, I love hearing that. Okay. And Michelle, when you began, what motivated you to first hop on that call and talk about your journey?
My first call with you.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, Renee really attracted me because her specialty is in like psychology and neural manifestation, and it's something that I've been looking at for quite some time. And there was something about her that triggered me a little bit because there was something about her that I was like, I guess my soul was kind of yearning to learn from, or just like inspired by. And it was how I mean, mostly it was about like how she is very intuitive and very in tune with her body and her mind. And that was kind of something that I was struggling with for quite some time. Around summertime of last year, I felt like there was not something wrong with my intuition, but it was hard for me to get in tune with it. And I operated from my mind a lot. I'm a very logical person, and like just always operating from my mind and studying with mind concepts, studying manifestation with like books and all that stuff. But what Renee really helped me with was getting in tune with my body, which I didn't realize that was such a big part of intuition at the time because I thought like, what, yeah, I'm in tune with my body. But then she really showed me that it was like, oh, this is how you really embody the work. This is how you really feel it within your body. And, I didn't really have that experience before. And I really couldn't have done it by myself just by watching videos or reading books. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I love what you said that about the mind body connection and really intellectualizing our learnings and intellectualizing manifestations. So to rewind a little bit, the state of your life before you start working with me, what was the state of your life?
Or like I've done like work before, like inner work before and everything, but there was a time in my life where I was like really unsure about what I wanted to do, like which direction I wanted to go.
Mhm.
And I think like my mind kind of consumed me at that time. And I was like, I really needed help with being able to be more in tune with my intuition and listening to what my gut is telling me. Because I was very confused, and like I remember my first session with Renee, like I was really tense as well because, I was just like unsure, and it was really hard for me to get in my body during the meditation too. And I was like, wow, like it's been really tough, trying to visualize things, trying to listen to my intuition, things like that. So I was just kind of a very like confused, anxious type of state when I first started. I'm a person that practices meditation every day. And it was challenging for me because I couldn't get my mind to be clear,
Mhm.
and I didn't realize that I was only working with the mind and I wasn't really in my body, even though, I've like tried different modalities by myself, with yoga and like working out and all of those things. It does help me be in my body a little bit. But I guess I was just operating in my mind way too much. And the mind plays tricks on you sometimes and you don't really know it. And it was hard for me to connect to the root cause of what was going on.
Mm. And in that state as well, like you were working your 9 to 5, and what was going on in your life? Because I remember you felt exhausted a lot of that time.
Yeah. So now I recognize that when I was exhausted and I was feeling fatigue throughout the day, I was just out of alignment with my sole purpose because I was working at my 9 to 5. And like my 9 to 5 wasn't a bad job. I've had it for, a few years, and it was something that I wanted to manifest for like 5 years prior. But then because of like, all of this inner work and, discovering more and more of myself, it was just not aligned with me anymore. Because I really wanted to, my desire is to be an entrepreneur and, have freedom and like time freedom, financial freedom, all of those things. But it wasn't in alignment with me to be a talent recruiter when I was, advertising people to come and work for a job, you
Right.
know, it was just not aligned and it would make me really tired. I was
Yeah.
always behind on like with my 9 to 5 and with my business
Right.
because I couldn't focus in one spot. And 8 hours of the day working for somebody else, it does take a toll on you, especially if it's not something that, you enjoy doing anymore.
No, absolutely. And so during that time with, even with all the challenges that you or the exhaustion that you're facing, not feeling in alignment with your soul's purpose, what did you try to do to solve that problem?
It's really funny because, and Renee can attest to this. I just tried working harder, and it just didn't work because I would just get more tired. Because I was just like, oh well, it's this endless cycle of me being behind on work and then being exhausted. So I needed to, rest and then like being upset at myself for being, behind. And that's not like when you're exhausted and when you're kind of frustrated with yourself, it's not a time to create. It's not a time to, do
Mhm.
work or be inspired to work. And so that was kind of what was going on. But yeah, and that was also kind of a limiting belief that we worked through because, hard work doesn't necessarily mean, more success. And like, even though I believed that and like I knew that from my studies, my body didn't believe it. And that's kind of what we worked through because as much as you want to believe something, as much as you affirm it, as much as you journal, as much as you do all of these things, there are some beliefs I felt that were had underlying like underlying beliefs or maybe like a strong belief system that was a little bit harder for me to adopt. I mean it probably would have worked if I maybe affirmed for like 6 months to a year or something, but with neuro manifestation and kind of like time traveling and going back into kind of the root cause and everything, it really collapsed the time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You get it. I love how you articulated that. Before you went into this container, what did success look like to you, and how did we help you achieve that success?
Hmm. So coming in, like my view of success was just like pretty much just income, right? I wanted to double, triple my income. And, that level of the success is definitely still on the board. But coming into this type of work and getting really in tune with myself, I realized that it's a lot more than that. It's about your identity as well and being aligned totally with your mind and your body. And then being able to work with Renee, like I feel like I've learned a new skill or plenty of new skills to be able to do that, to be able to listen to my body and be able to listen to my directional signal a lot more. And being able to kind of like um it was kind of like a whole shift, like mind and body, where like I felt more comfortable to do things that I wouldn't have before, like quitting my job and just doing something like totally out of the norm, embracing the unknown and like just going for it. I think that was kind of like the biggest success that I've had was just like how I felt inside, being able to understand whenever my body is like feeling not safe or not trusting or just like feeling just like even like using these modalities on myself. I've had so much like so many downloads and so many things that it's like, oh well, I'm feeling pain and judgment here, or I'm feeling like not safe here, and like all of those things. And you can do affirmations and like I am confident and stuff like that, but then like if your body's like I don't feel safe to be confident, then it's like you're trying to override something that your body's like no 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 no.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
like spot on with what you're saying. And so, Michelle, what do the next 12 months look like for you?
Well, the next 12 months are going to be so exciting. I like my whole spine just lit up, thinking about it. And the next 12 months, I'm, going to continue my journey as a full-time entrepreneur, discovering more and more of my soul purpose and, uh, being able to contribute to the consciousness of, the being able to contribute my light to elevate consciousness and, in the ways that, my gifts are going to be, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little
Okay.
as,
Embellish.
as my gifts elevate, as I'm
Yeah.
building my gifts and everything like that. it just makes me so happy because before, like, having a job and trying to, build all of these new skills and build my business and learn, because of course there's a little bit of training that has to come with, building a business. I was just putting so much pressure on myself and the timing and everything. And now I just have all the time in the world. Like I'll wake up and I'm just so grateful. Like I have money, I have time, I have the ability to make my own schedule. And before I was just so scared, like in my 20s, for the longest time, it was just kind of like, I just want to save enough money so that I can build my own business. And then like literally like 5, 6, 7 to 8, 10 years go by and I just didn't do it. And now I'm like, I have the ability to do it. So what was stopping me other than just like, random fears?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so now I'm just kind of like, I'm a woman of faith. Like I embrace the unknown. And, that was something that was really scary before, but now it's just kind of like, it's exciting, you know?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. The unknown is exciting. I love that so much. And if you were to do this well, again, knowing what you know now, if you do it all over again, what would you do differently?
Mm, I would definitely prepare a lot more before my sessions with Renee because honestly, we were meeting every week, and sometimes I just felt so good inside that I was just like, I don't have anything to work on right now. you know? So I like, yeah, I mean, we did work through a lot of like beliefs, and every single time it was very beneficial. Because something would come up, like some things that would come up, like I didn't even realize that I was thinking, or beliefs that I didn't really know that I had, or I didn't know where it came from. And then there were beliefs that I did know where it came from, that like memories that have popped up in my head, and I didn't realize that was affecting me, all of those things. But definitely, if I could do it all over again, I don't think I would change anything different. But the next time if we when we, do our sessions and everything again, like that's why I love coaches, because I know that my coaches evolve too. They're evolving every day, and I'm evolving every day too. So like, when we reconnect in the future, Renee will be very evolved. You know,
Yeah.
we'll have different things to talk about,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. And so I'd love to know what your favorite part of the program was as well.
Mm. Definitely like the body alignment, because like for me, not only was it like about like money and about like a survival mode or whatever have you, fear and all that stuff, but I've also had like unhealthy views of my body, right? The way my body image, how I looked and everything. And we also worked through that too. And like it may or may not, I mean it may be, but like it had something to do with my worth or my money, as my money beliefs as well. And that was something that was like kind of like, I didn't realize that it was kind of correlated. And so we worked through that as well. And my favorite part was being able to be in tune with my body and understanding all of the connections that, my beliefs were manifesting in my body. And it could be like a little inkling, it could be a little feeling, and all of those things that I never would have noticed before. Or like as much as like I would, read it in books or see it on podcasts and stuff like that. I didn't really understand. And now, I'm able to use this skill. Renee taught me a skill to be able to heal in my body, and like not just healing my physical body, but like ailments and manifestations that have, you know, just arise in my body because of a feeling. And that's like something really hard to explain as well. And like, I would have never been able to like figure that out on my own.
Mhm. I love that so much. And Michelle, for anyone trying to achieve what you've achieved yourself, what's one thing they should avoid and one piece of advice you would give them?
What was the first part?
So for someone trying to achieve what you've achieved, your level of success,
Yeah.
what is one thing they should avoid and one piece of advice you would give them?
Avoiding. Hmm. Well, there's one thing I know that you shouldn't avoid is facing your fears.
Mm,
Yeah, because sometimes we just kind of push it down or push it away with like, dumping affirmations or dumping like all of these or more work, all of these things. Like you definitely shouldn't avoid facing your fears. Just go through them and ask why. And like, ask yourself why you have these fears and what you can do, before you affirm any new beliefs and things like that. I think definitely not avoiding your intuition as well, And sometimes, it is so faint. And you have to listen to it. You have to journal it down and reflect on it. And what was the second part again?
One piece of advice you would give them.
Okay, the piece of advice. Um, it's crazy because you and yourself know all of the answers that you need to know. And, you know, sometimes you need help, right? And that's what Renee helped with me. So, there are so many times where I felt like I was given the answer within me, but I didn't heed the call. I didn't listen because I was too in my head.
Mm.
Um, right. And sometimes your mind tricks you. And I remember the first time Renee said that to me, and I was like, dang it. Right. I was like, like, how do you know? And like with working with Renee, I was able to learn how to do that because your mind can trick you, but your body will never lie to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Amazing. So if anyone's interested in connecting with you, how can they find you?
Oh, they can find me on my Instagram. It's at mind_Mavis. That's my quote page. If you, need any advice, need someone to talk to, if you need more feedback on Renee, I'm happy to give it to you.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to add about like where you are right now and anything else you want to share?
I'm I'm honestly like really happy where I am right now. Like, being able to learn the skill of like healing your body and everything, it helps me it helps me gain my joy a lot faster. Way faster. And like before it was just kind of like circling in my head and like, like my body feeling uncomfortable and I don't know why. And I'm like, maybe I'll take a bath or something. But like it doesn't it doesn't always help, right? It helps in the meantime. But then being able to actually learn how your body and your mind connects and how you can actually like heal through it and like heal beliefs and stuff like that. Oh my gosh, like being able to come back to like homeostasis where you feel joy, it's so much faster. And like I cannot like commend Renee more than I can right now for helping me being able to do that. Honestly, something called me to her and I heeded the call and I'm so glad I did.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure seeing you grow.